Ho 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 ho. Top of the morning to you guys. I don't know how people can maintain that level of energy consistently. And you know, I'm pretty convinced that that's the reason there's so much of that what's that they say is going around, that YouTuber burnout. Burnout is what it is. YouTuber burnout. It's because you have to act like a lunatic every day. Well, guess what? This ain't that kind of stream. Here, we are reasonable humans. You know, we have healthy gaming and streaming habits. At least that's how we all start, right? You know, before the other shoe drops, and you next thing you know, you're just filming dead bodies in forests. But since we have no concrete intro here, and the intro is usually a non sequitur of some sort, some random discussion that's completely unrelated to what you're seeing on the screen, we're keeping it consistent, boys. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the Expert Playlist. Got some pre-show going today. Some Shadow of the Colossus. I'm obsessed with it as of late. Taking you along for the ride. And in about an hour, you know who will be dropping in for some delightfully delightful Gears of War Judgment gameplay, commentary, co-op. Yeah. And you know, should be a good time. But first, my friend up there. I mean, I want to say reasonably, you know, at this point. We're in a good place mechanically. You know what's crazy? I was watching some old footage of this game, and I mean, I know the aiming used to be significantly worse, but I didn't acknowledge just how bad it was until I saw someone trying to use it, and then I'm like, oh. See, the mark of a good remake is when it feels the way it always should have, it looks the way you always assumed it did, and it plays the way you always thought it did. Often, you know, you're confronted with the rose-tinted fallacy when you go back to play these games, and they're not nearly as good as you remember. This game, however, is a perfect representation of what my brain thought Shadow of the Colossus looked, felt, and played like. At least this is the way it feels in my memories. It's not a mechanical mess that runs at 15 frames per second. Alright. What are you doing? What are you doing? Aggro, what are you doing? Don't mind me, just breaking your physics. Oh my gosh. That was just record levels of gross. Ah! Give me them neck bones. Don't tap Z or R twice. Tap Z or R twice. Are the fins coming down yet? No, the fins are still finding their way. Take advantage of it. Fins down! Horse! Alright, so now what? The messed up part is that I started using the modern control configuration. And and I had no idea that the game didn't always play that way. I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus in at least a decade. So I was completely convinced that the control scheme was always like that. God. Is the back just gonna keep bleeding? Is that a glitch? So I just started using these controls and reacclimating my brain to its weird control scheme, and come to find out that I was wrong. I should have been playing it in classic mode, because I totally tried to play this game the way I remembered, and it didn't work, because the controls were broken. And now that I've been playing this game in modern for the past 16 hours, now I'm just used to this. It actually does play reasonably better than it used to, though. The aiming is absolutely much better. The IK is so much more detailed now, so the physics and movement systems feel on point. You know, I'm not mad, but I'm a bit of a purist in that regard. I kind of wanted to play it with the old control scheme like the dinosaur I am. And at this point, I just don't feel like unlearning it. Like, I've already gotten this far. Forget it. Can I hit this stack already? No, 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 no. Okay, thank you. Off of the horse. The level we're at now. These are like the riskiest mounts I think I have ever, like, even Wander doesn't know what to do with himself. These are like the weirdest. You're not supposed to grab. I don't think you're supposed to grab this part of the wing. Pretty sure that's not the grabbable part of the wing. Everything's a really unique surface. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever had a problem with these games in the way they play and or control, because you know, it's like shaving. You know, when you're shaving, they teach you not to go against the grain. You know, I play video games the same way. Like, every game has its own set of rules. Every game has this is how this game works, and you have to play this game this way because this is the way this game works. I'm honestly so used to that as a concept that, I mean... This Colossus is a savage. Aggro, come back here. Stop that. Aggro! What are you doing? So, I don't know. It's that kind of frame of mind that keeps me from being frustrated at games like The Last Guardian. Because while it's easy to look at, say, a character like Trico and just see a semblance of mechanics, like, I look at Trico and I look at Trico and I see an animal, man. I wanted to be immersed in a very emotional story between a boy and his dog, bird, bat, creature, griffin thing. And you know what? That's exactly what I got. Now, I want to say that the distinction is, and this is my point, the distinction between playing for immersion and playing something as a video game is, if I were trying to speedrun The Last Guardian, Trico's mechanics would probably bug the hell out of me. Because they're designed to be imprecise, they're designed to be imperfect. It's by design an interaction of weird, complex AI and player input. If I try to play The Last Guardian like a video game and not an immersive story experience, I will probably be frustrated. Which is why I can understand why some reviewers and some people, like, say, Jim Sterling, absolutely fucking hate it. Like, absolutely. And I don't mean like, oh, they think the game is a piece of shit. I mean, they hate the mechanics of the game and how they affect the moment-to-moment gameplay. Specifically because of the game's weird, heavy, wonky controls and because of Trico's questionable AI. So I get it. I think they're two perspectives that are absolutely they're both worth consideration. Because they highlight, you know, the kinds of gamers and the kinds of people that play. It's like this game. I think this game is fantastic and something that everyone should play. I have friends that think it's boring. And while I can't comprehend that perspective at all, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know how anybody could look at this and boring would be the first word to cross their mind, but I also can acknowledge that the game lacks the immediacy of other action games. I feel like in this incarnation, it actually holds up better as the game it was trying to be 13 years ago. And I think that in itself would make it more accessible, just its presentation and how precise controls are now. It doesn't feel like a wonk fest. It's still weirdly wonky because of its mechanics and physics, but it doesn't feel broken. There are very few games that do what this game is doing and in the way it's doing it. You know, there are a ton of games out there, I'm sure, that have, you know, nice big epic boss fights and all of that jazz. Big epic boss fight, you know. But, and I'm sure you know what you're doing and can make yourself look awesome, but I submit, death. But I submit, even when you're doing your absolute best, does your character actually look like they are affected by struggle? Is there weight and is there weight and emotion being conveyed on screen? I have to say that even when you know what you're doing, even when you have the fight under control, visually, Wander is still being flung around the screen like a rag doll. He's grunting and struggling to, you know, to scale these massive beasts and dodging their, like, the visual, the visual component of Shadow never gives you a moment where you feel like nothing's happening. It's always telling its story. Every boss fight, from the feet to the head, tells a story. Every encounter, every stab. Part of the brilliance that makes this game what it is. Oh no. Not this one. Oh, I love this one. This is my favorite one. Number 14, my favorite. Actually, wait, and I feel like I saw this in a cutscene earlier. This was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No, what was I? I was watching Boundary Break. That was it. I was watching Boundary Break. And when they boundary broke the Shrine of Worship, there was a lizard up here. Like crawling around the dormant hole. I mean, of course it's not there now because I have to look ridiculous on stream no matter what's happening. It's kind of a rule. This place is beautiful. I gotta say though, one thing that genuinely surprised me was, let's see. I was, what was I doing? Oh, I was watching the Digital Foundry tech analysis / interview with 3 members of the dev team. And, you know, as everyone was describing their favorite places, I'm surprised. Well, one of the members said the temple, which I think definitely. The temple is one of many, you know, astoundingly gorgeous places. But, I submit, the freaking statues are incredible. And I have to say, it's one of those things that, I have to say, it's one of those things that helps the emotional through line of the game. Well, remember, this game has a very minimalist presentation in order to let its visuals do a lot of the talking. If I jump down there, would I die? Probably. Yeah, probably. How can I do that? I kind of want to go down there and reminisce a little bit, but yeah, let's reminisce a little bit while I talk out of my ear a little bit longer. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Where was I? These statues help complete that emotional circle even more by just being more detailed. If you look at the statues in the original game, they are definitely idols that represent the Colossi, low level of detail as they are. And when they explode, they all shatter in like a plume of light, and they turn into these little white little rock fragments that pretty much disappear. It turns into an indistinct pile of rubble. Every idol eventually becomes an indistinct pile of rubble. So, you know, I would say that's about where your relationship with the idols begins and ends. In the remake, they are extremely detailed and really lovingly crafted, and they look cute. They look so nice. They look so ornate, and so, like I said, lovingly crafted is the only phrase I can use to describe the way they look. And in light of that, it's the same thing when they're destroyed. When the idols are destroyed in this game, they don't just turn white and disintegrate into a pile of rocks. They shatter and crumble and then stay in a pile of rubble that is, yeah, it's broken, but they are way more distinct and recognizable in their broken forms. You know, like these shafts of light penetrating the sky after each Colossus death. Almost as if it's a reminder of the number of lives you're eliminating from this already dead world. Just the remains of the crumbled idols serve as, you know, sad, plaintive memoriam to the destruction you've caused. I don't think that exists in the original. That feeling inside the temple looking at the rubble from the idols, I don't think you get that in the old one, but you definitely get it in the remake. And a lot of that has to do with the increased level of detail and animation that they placed on it. My man. Oh, look at him. He's got hooves. Look at his hooves. His hooves. Going for the foot, man. Hey, Fuzzy. Come on. Come on! Come on! No! Damn it. Yes! Yes! Alright. We're going for them cheeks first. Wander. Grab those butt hairs like your life depends on it, man. Just talk about these levels of detail on each of these colossi and the TLC that went into crafting them. Can we talk about the subtle plumes of dust and debris that fly off of them as they move? Can we talk about the way the wind and dirt ripples through the hair? Can we talk about the subtle way that the light of the sigil affects, you know, Wander's personal lighting and shadow? Can we talk about how all of these things combine to create one of the finest visual tableaus I've seen in a next-gen game? Period. Why does this game look so good? It's a remake of a 13-year-old game. It shouldn't even look this good. This was a $40 game that just came out on a lark. And it looks better than most AAA releases. I think what's the most fascinating about this game is the way it was made. Again, the Digital Foundry tech analysis / interview is so enlightening as to how the game was made. That's a good reminisce. It's good stuff, man. Feels bad. I'm sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was gonna say, you know, apparently, according to the dev team, they have an engine called the Bluepoint engine, and it's the engine they've been using all of this time to convert and remaster games in the impeccable way they've done. I'm paraphrasing and speaking only slightly from memory. Why does the horse keep breaking left like a lunatic? Horse! I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, the Bluepoint engine, from what I could gather, I may need to watch the interview again so I can absorb more of that knowledge into my brain. The Bluepoint engine is an engine that seeks to emulate and improve upon the baseline code of whatever game they happen to be remastering. So they have an engine that runs in tandem with the original game, and they swap out, update, fix, or improve the code where necessary, resulting in a finished product that, you know, if done well, is a markedly better experience, or a, you know, an improved experience over the original game, because it literally uses original code to do what it does. So it's not like taking the original game and simply rewriting a few lines, up-converting. No, their engine is doing a lot behind the scenes to improve things. It's why I would say in the Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, they play so faithfully, but then little things that have always been bugbears of the series, like the aiming. You know, the aiming of the weapons in Uncharted, you know, it definitely got an improvement when Bluepoint, excuse me. One of these companies is talented. Sorry, didn't mean that. Bluepoint. Bluehole couldn't remaster a Game Boy game. Anyway, yeah, Bluepoint was able to improve the aiming. They were able to improve, you know, some little control gaffes and stickiness as far as it related to Nathan feeling smooth. And of course, they took all 3 games and made them run at 60 frames per second, which, hey man, smoke them if you got them. Bluepoint's on their ish. They did the same thing to Ico and Shadow of the Colossus when they remastered it for PS3, which, to hear them say it, actually provided the foundation they needed to make this remake. There was already a bunch of code from the original PS2 game that they had already iterated on and improved. So for this, even though this is a top-to-bottom remake that uses none of the original assets, it's definitely, and this is what surprised me the most, it's definitely using a lot of the same code, which kind of blew my mind. It's a mixture of both, and it goes a long way to say why this game feels like Shadow of the Colossus, even though it's been mightily improved in a lot of ways. You know, I love that about it. It's like, alright, it's going to retain the inverse kinetics system from the original and a lot of those calculations, but they took a lot of them and improved them by sticking it into those IK systems into their physics engine. You know, it's little things like that. You know, it's the fact that, you know, looking at Wander, a lot of the base animations for him as a character are from the original code. Like, say, his riding animation, the little bone ornamentation around his waist. The physics that govern those are actually from the PS2 code. But his scarf, on the other hand, is using NVIDIA fabric tech in order to make a more convincing cloth, shroud, blanket. This is what I mean about that amalgam, that mixture of old and new that just completes this game's look and makes it look absolutely phenomenal. It's mighty impressive, you know. I gotta say. Yeah. I've got to say. This remake is God's work right here. I can't wait for Bluepoint's next remake. I can't believe I think their next game is a remake too. It's another remake. It's not another remaster. I would love if it were something from Konami, because the scuttlebutt is that, oh, well, what if it's Metal Gear Solid, since they'd also done the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. But, you know, and I gotta say, if it were Silent Hill, yeah, I would lose my shit. If Bluepoint Games' next remake was the original Silent Hill, I would be speechless. I would be absolutely speechless. Not only would it be incredible, but it would be completely unexpected and honestly out of character for Konami at this point, who have proven that they could not care less about the games industry or anything they make. Bluepoint does, which is why I think that's very unlikely. Yeah, like, I genuinely feel if somebody wanted to remaster Silent Hill, Konami probably just wouldn't let them because they suck. Just a horrible money-grubbing company. Willing to shill out their classics for the almighty dollar. Kind of like a Japanese EA. But, listen, I'm not going to be a salt lord about it. Alright? Now, I won't be a butthead about it. But I'm just saying, like, that would be phenomenal. Silent Hill is another one of those games that are instant classics and also push the technological limits of their respective systems. I won't say that Silent Hill 1 was doing to the PS1 what Shadow of the Colossus did to the PS2, but there's a good argument for that. I mean, the game's trademark fog is a result of draw distance. And could you imagine just being vividly realized in HD, potentially at 60 frames per second, with its original and or updated control schemes and its branching pathways, multiple endings, survival horror-like structure right on the cusp of a Resident Evil 2 remake? Ugh. The thought is almost too much for me. Bluepoint, I hope whatever you're working on next is either Metal Gear Solid or Silent Hill. If neither of those, you know, I don't know, GoldenEye. That'll never happen. GoldenEye. GoldenEye will never happen. Ever. Fucking ever. It'll never happen. I personally wonder if it'll be an exclusive, because Bluepoint's last few remakes have been like, oh, okay, well, fine. Not to say that Activision didn't do a fantastic job on the Spyro and Crash remastered trilogies. Again, head and shoulders, you know, play the game. They did really well. In the case of the Crash trilogy, I want to submit that they might have been a little bit too faithful, because there was some parts that they probably should have fixed, like all of Road to Nowhere. But hi. Cenobia's no joke, man. Yeah, this is Cenobia. Whoa! I love how this is a cutscene every single time you do it. It's a playable cutscene too, but it's a cutscene. It's like, alright. I appreciate their cameras because they're taking out the time to outline the mechanics. Hey, dick face. You mad, bro? Is he mad, bro? These are some expert loops as well. I gotta say, as somebody who's very familiar with the soundtrack, these are some expert level loops. This bad boy can fit so many loops. What you say? Oof! Holy shit! Wander, get your act together, bro. That was like a full unnecessary tumble. Up. The first hit's always free, so always good on that. The first hit's always free. You just gotta provoke the second one. Which is why when I'm looking at video game Donkey shoot this thing with like 10 arrows, I'm like, what are you doing? Stop video gaming it. Just play it like it's Shadow of the Colossus. This thing is governed by very specific rules. You climb the tower, it hits the tower once. Boom. You provoke the second hit. Rinse, repeat. It's so simple. I'm convinced that's why I make this game look awesome. And other people just flail. No, that's not an ego trip. I just mean, like, I've seen some people play this. It looks ridiculous. Come on, buddy. You about to yabba dabba do it? Oh, man, the first hit is always free. Letter days. Boy, stop. My favorite part is when he hits this tower in particular. Like, this thing is huge. Why would you even? Like, why? Your face is not nearly large enough. It's not. He's like, oh, he's on a new thing. Let me hit him. Let me hit him now. Boop! the truth. Wander, you fool! I know this is the last time I fought Zenobia. I fought Zenobia without getting smacked by Zenobia, which is not nearly as easy with Pelagia. Pelagia will just ruin your shit if you stand near it for any reason at all. Pelagia don't give no Fs. Alright, buddy. Seal your own fate. Let's do this. You about to yabba do it. That's rough, bro. What are you gonna do about that? Oh! And now you look like Pelagia's cousin. Hey, buddy. Wanna give me them neck bones? Holy shit! Ow! Oh, God! Arrogance. In the end, it was arrogance that killed Wander. This is my favorite song, too. It's the Avion song. This is a despair-filled farewell. One of my favorite songs in the entire score. This is the most tragic Zenobia fight I have ever engaged in. Never before have I just sat here and stabbed him to death without him having a chance to move. This was by far the worst fight ever. Nope. That was a nope. That was a Mike Myers level massacre. I don't even. Oh no, nope, can't morally justify that one. Not even gonna try. That was just straight up poaching. That was a straight up poach. I just poached that thing. That wasn't cool. I feel even worse now. Oof. 14 down. Now it's time to fight Argus. Argus is not one of my favorites, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Argus, no. Argus is okay. Oh, what's up, man? Shoutouts to... Oops. Alright, so. Argus. Argus is unique in that he's such a multifaceted encounter that I don't know exactly how to approach him quickly. he's just past the phalanx area too, in the upper corner of the map. Probably a little past that little area where I'm headed. Let's see. Which way is this thing pointing? Oh, wow. Yeah, see, it's pointing towards the bridge. He's on the right side of that bridge, way towards the back. Like I'm talking like... Oh, I have no cursor. Oh, wow. That sounds fun. I like this. Things to unlock. Anyway. In any case, I'm gonna put an eyeball on Streamlabs for a quick second and say a bunch of unrelated random names. Thank you to everybody that just followed. You're all awesome. I hope you enjoy my uncontrolled ramblings. All we can ask for in this world, right? Somebody to listen to you ramble. Thank you. Appreciate you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you are new. 9 of you. In the matter of a half an hour. Maybe Mixer's where it's at. What can I say? I feel like doing that's just a formality at this point, you know? You know, it's funny to me. One thing they said that intrigued the heck out of me was, you know, that they, as an element of design, the team took the game as two sides of a cohesive whole. And I mean that in the sense... Sorry. I mean that in the sense that the game has two phases, and as such, two distinct characters at any given time. One character is the environment. Another character are the Colossi themselves, and you experience emotional beats depending on which one you're interacting with. Now, the environment, arguably, like the Forbidden Land itself, is the character you interact with the most. You spend more time in the Forbidden Lands than you do actually fighting Colossi. And as such, because it's such a static element, because there's no life out here in the world itself, since there's nothing to distract you from the world itself is its own character, they had to focus on making the world as gorgeous as possible, as detail-rich as possible. And if anything really looked out of place in the overworld, you'd probably notice it, because there's nothing to distract you. Like for example, every Grand Theft Auto game, I don't care which one you're playing, there is some chunk of the city that's got some shitty textures in it. It's a place you don't really go too often. It might be the back of a wall. There's a shitty texture somewhere to compensate for the fact that it's always running at a high level of graphical fidelity and, you know, running complex AI systems. It's just always doing that. So there are compromises made in very strategic places to maintain the illusion and keep the engine from sputtering and dying. That's to say that Shadow, because it has no NPCs, no AI to drive other than aggros, that the lion's share of detail quite literally just went into every facet of the world. Footprints that appear in the sand, leaves that blow and settle in ponds. There are so many instances of just minute micro details that fill this world out and make it so substantive that I feel like most people playing this game will probably take it for granted. I mean, I guess the rule of thumb is, you know, as it is with the Uncanny Valley, when something is unrealistic, it stands out to your eyes. Conversely, for a world this large and empty, if little details are missing, your eye will catch on to it and go, what the fuck? It's inevitable. Your eye is just trained to do that. The human eye is trained to lock onto faces, and it's also trained to lock onto unnatural details, maybe because unnatural details in and of themselves may be a sign of danger. So we're trained to do this. That's why the Uncanny Valley works. So the fact that you're galloping through the sand and leaving footprints, that it's kicking up dirt and dust, that Aggro's mane blows the way it does, and all of this is a masterclass in putting the little details where they count. And your eyes are none the wiser. Truly none the wiser. Yeah! Woo! I seriously haven't found every shrine yet, or every lizard for that matter, and that makes me unhappy because this is like my second playthrough on normal. I will say I find it peculiar that, and thank you for not making this a thing, I'm kind of glad that the white-tailed lizards don't reappear. As far as I know, all the lizards I've got, I done had, haven't really made reappearances. So, what? Oh, okay. So I can at least rest assured of the fact that if I don't find a lizard somewhere, that means I got it. Oh, is that really a bad fall for you? I mean, whatever, but... Alright, buddy. Right here. So, do people use aggro to get into that hole? Do people stand on aggro and then jump into that hole as a thing that people do? I don't even know how that would work from a momentum and landing perspective, but I don't know how people are getting into that hole. Can you get into that hole? Is that hole get into a bubble? Can you grab onto anything here? Aggro, is there some kind of weird acceleration trick that I can use to get into that hole? Why is that hole there? I don't think they would put that hole there if you weren't meant to go into it. I have questions, and they may not have answers. Can anyone answer that question for me? No? Nobody? Okay, fine. I'll stop asking. But know this, I will be back to go into all of these holes. And I don't care how that sounds. Alright, aggro. We're gonna do it this time. Let's use the power of momentum! Aggro, you fucked it. grab it. And then when I grab it... Oh. I don't know. It's not... Whatever I'm thinking, it's not gonna work. Yeah, okay. Fuck it. Alright, yeah, we're done here. Sorry. Sorry, aggro. Sorry, viewers. Just kind of wasting your time like a true lunatic. That's all. I know the game says he acts as sentinel to a destroyed city, but I wish I knew what that meant outside of surface level. I mean, because, you know, I come here and I can't fathom who or what might have lived here either way. Just not the kind of environment that's conducive to rampant speculation. It's pretty big. I mean, is it a city? I don't know if it's city big. It's definitely a fortress of some sort. Man, look at his face. He's looking bad. You're looking bad, Wander. Lips are looking kind of chapped. Neck is it's kind of black. Your skin's looking kind of dark there. I know that's not dirt. Got veins going everywhere. Killing 14 other Colossi will take its toll on you physically. It's the tragedy of Wander. It's part of the tragedy of Wander. The fact that he's literally killing himself to fulfill this quest. See what I mean? Like, did civilization thrive here? Is this legitimately a city? Could be a town on a good day. It's a long road, my friends. Lord Raiden. Hi. Okay, so what's the quid pro quo of fighting Argus? Two things you gotta do, right? You gotta get the feet, then you gotta get the butt, then you got... Okay, no, okay. First you have to... Alright, first I'm gonna use this side. So, what are the main focal points? We gotta get the head, and then we gotta get the elbow, and then we gotta get the hand, right? That's how you do this. You know one thing I've never tried that I kind of want to try right now? What happens if you hit the elbow first and make him drop the sword? Does he fuck up the upper bridges? Can he fuck up the upper bridges? If you take out the sword first? I love that even when he is the non-threatened teal, he's still trying to step on your fucking face. Argus just wants you dead, man. Like it said, like the game itself said, this Colossus overcompensates by acting like he's the sentinel of this city. I mean, what are you supposed to do with it? He's a fucking goober. Is he gonna turn over here and look at me? I want to see. I want to see if this can be, if I have to physically provoke him or if he's just gonna do this on his own. No, look, he's just doing it on his own. Yeah, man, Argus is like, fuck you. I have not provoked Argus yet. Comparing that shoulder. It's a very threatening animation. Okay, quit rotating that shit and swing it. What you doing, boy? Woo! Alright, that'll do it. Oh, you know, this is why Argus and I are friends. We simply each other. Alright, now that I know what I know. You know what creeps me out? And I don't know if this is like a weird opinion to have, but it really bugs me out when their eyes go blank and they just look like idols. Because occasionally that happens. Occasionally, see, like right now, the light leaves their eyes for some unknown reason. I'm waiting so he won't have an epiphany and destroy the fucking bridge. Because that's the last thing I need. But ideally... Holy fuck. Why is he even swinging up here like that? What are you doing with your life, Argus? You can't break this. Lord Rig. It's way too far for me to jump on, too. I can't do it. He's just gonna keep whacking this thing up here. Argus comes in. Stop it, Argus. Get some help. I don't care, man. I'll start messing with Argus. I don't care. Take these arrows. I'm totally going for the elbow first, though. Just the way I feel it should be played. Oh yeah, he's taking out the bridge. It's over. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, there was no chance of me keeping the bridge. Okay. You're done now, eh? Fuck it, we're not taking out the elbow first. I'm getting these head bones. Give me them head bones. You know, honestly, I don't feel bad about Argus. Argus is tragic, but only because I'm trespassing in his realm, you know. Arguably, this wouldn't be happening if I didn't step all up in his house. Just Columbusing the place, you know. Definitely time for elbows. Yep. You know what's funny? It's a telltale thing that he's always rotating this arm toward the swing. It speaks to that little damaged area he's got. Oh, he knows I'm on the wound now. He does. Oops. I guess that wasn't it. Good lord. This is definitely the strangest way I've fought Argos yet. This is definitely the oddest way I've ever fought him. I don't think I've ever transitioned from the elbow to the palm like this before. Ever. Ever. And it's why my grip gauge is like dying a horrible death right now. I can't. Oh! Come on, one more, one more. Nerve! Well, shit. Dick. Oh, wow. That's pretty dope. Your feelings change like the weather. Here it comes. You can barely hear the female element of Dorman's voice at this point. So I'm not sure about what I want to do here. I kind of want to run around and find some shrines. I don't feel like I'm ready to go after Malice just yet. I don't feel like going after Malice just yet, to be frank. But I know there's a bunch out here that I still have yet to get. Like, let's see. I feel like shrining out a bit, man. Totally fine with that being a thing. Pretty sure there's one over here. Holy shit. Yeah, there it is. Yep, that's new. Okay. Alright, alright. Move your butt, horse. What are you doing? Also, can I just say on the record that watching IGN's comparison video for Shadow of the Colossus was complete ass? Alright? I don't know if the person recording that video has never played Shadow of the Colossus before, and I know I sound like an asshat, you know, because it is a virtual horse. But goddamn, you do not need to kick aggro every 2.5 seconds. You don't need to kick aggro every other second in order to maintain top speed on the fucking horse. All you have to do is kick him once or twice and then hold triangle to maintain max speed. Whoever was playing the video was an asshole. He was just kicking aggro, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. It was so annoying. It was so annoying to watch. I know aggro is a virtual horse, and I know I might be reaching by trying to assign guilt to treatment of a virtual animal, but I feel like within the context of the game and the relationship you have with the horse, I am at least 10% justified in being annoyed that someone just plays the game and thinks that the only way to get aggro to run fast is to do this. And like, do you hear the way he screams when you do this? And the person playing the game isn't like, oh shit, maybe aggro's screaming because I'm being an asshole. You don't need to do this. It's unnecessary. Just hold the button. You see how that works? Minimal horse screeching. Listen to it. Listen to it. It's the sound of silence. You dick! I'm sorry. He was just very annoyed. It really got me in my feels, man. I was just sitting here watching this guy play this game like, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Who taught you how to ride a horse? If you did that in real life, a horse would eat you. I don't know, maybe it's me. I've actually ridden a horse in real life. It's terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying. Even when they're trained. I mean, oh wow. Look, it's phalanx. Oh, I'm so sorry. The little things you notice, like the hairy parts are never intact. It's always a mismatch of like bone and stone and sand, maybe moss or grass, but the organic elements like the hair never remains. Oh wow. I was gonna say, you can always, usually you can see the face. This is the face right here. Phalanx deserved better than that. What up, Cyclops? Thanks for the et ceteras. Oh, I do have a horse. Well, how about that? How about that? All right, buddy. You ready? Heyo. Good gravy. All right. I'm sorry, you magnificent beast. Could this game be any more amazing? Hey! Oh, thank you for the et ceteras, my friend. Nice to meet you. Oh no, it's going back underground. Fail! Good lord. Well, sure. Why not? When you put it that way. Oh, that's so mean! Oh, this is diabolical. That's just... Oh, nope. Failure to launch. That's what we call that. That's what we call that one, folks. We call that a failure to launch. I just watched the game have to stop Phalanx from going deeper into the sand. He kind of bounced off the surface there a little bit. Even he was flabbergasted. He had no idea that he was going to be down this quickly. He thought he was going to have more uptime. No. No, that's not how we roll here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my friend. Alright, you ancient creature. Let's continue this haircut. It's funny how callous I am when I'm doing this as either a reminiscence or a time attack. Because I gotta say, like, and this is exactly what I mean about playing this as an experience versus playing it as a game. When you go into time attack or reminiscence mode, it becomes a game. I become a bit of an asshat. There is no emotional attachment to this thing when I'm thinking of it as just a boss and not some magnificent beast that doesn't deserve to be slain. You know, context really matters. Oh, no! Oh, I was so close. So close, yet so far. Derp. Hey man, sometimes you gotta let the animations rock, you know, what can I say? Alright, my increasingly pale friend. I gotta say, one thing I did not appreciate, and it stands out to me only because I played the original, I guess, but while Wander's appearance still deteriorates over the course of the game, it's a lot more subtle in this version, for one. And for Dos, his clothes don't get messed up anymore. Before, his clothes would be like in tatters to go along with his deteriorating, you know, physical appearance. His clothes started to get ripped up and get a little patchy. But no. His clothes pretty much stay perfect, albeit maybe looking like they turned the contrast down on them slightly. And his physical appearance deteriorating is a lot more subtle in this one too. Like, I had to back Wander into a corner before I could see what was actually wrong with him. You think they would, like, try and sell that a lot more, like dark veins. Problem with this boss, okay, is that you have to freaking... Oh, that was a miss. Egg roll! The conceit is that, you know, whenever you jump on this boss, you're pretty much starting at the head, and no matter what you're doing, you still have to work your way to the freaking tail. I think I can barely make it. I think I got this. No! 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 Alright, I guess I missed it. I feel like that was my last chance there. Yeah, that was my last chance. Why did I decide to do this again? Oh wait, that wasn't my last chance. Hey! Aggro, come here! We can still get him. He's flying into a wall at this point. Let's get him. Alright, this might be our last chance. Come on, Aggro. Come on, Aggro. I believe in you, Aggro. Yes! Oh, you beautiful horse. I knew we could do it. Wander, what are you doing? Wanda, what you doing? Wanda and the Colossus. I love it. Yo! Yo! I know you don't want to clip through the fin, but you can't get stuck on the fin. Camera. Got the no clip on, so we can't see inside these models. I get it, okay, but still, don't kill me. Okay, look. What are we doing here? What are we doing with ourselves? Alright, let's get these yams. It's over, my friend. It's over. Poor Phalanx. It's really sad that, you know, Dorman's essence is what gives them life. And that as soon as you take that away, they don't even remain whole. They just deteriorate. Like, how many centuries were these here? For most of their for most of their physical form to be dust, you have to imagine just how long the Colossi have just been aimlessly wandering these lands. It's like in I don't remember which movie it was, but there was a movie that did this really well. And this person was immortal. And as soon as they lost their immortality, their body pretty much turned into dust. Because, of course, arguably, the magic is what was keeping you alive. The magic is what was keeping it all together. So as soon as the magic disappears, man, you just get millennia. It's like this millennia hits you all at once. Boom! Like 1,000 years of age just hits your body all at the same time, and you just turn into a skeleton. And it's like, well, that makes sense. Because the magic was holding the aging back. Okay, good. I feel like the same thing happens to these Colossi. As soon as Dorman's essence is gone, that's it, man. All of that masonry and stonework and fur. Like, you notice, the fur is never left behind. There is never fur left. Oh my gosh, Wander your face. There's never fur left behind. There's some of the stone is there. But a lot of the concrete and a lot of the granite is just non-existent, man. Feels really bad, man. That's what kills me too. A lot of their faces are like this really weathered stone. And the faces are always left behind, just like the idols now. The faces are left behind. So it's like, oh, I remember what his stupid looking face looked like. Kind of cute, actually. Big dumb beast. You know, I don't know, man. That's the problem with these little silent, somber moments, is that you have way too much time to overthink this stuff. I mean, Wander's already on his own quest, right? So he's not thinking about it. He's determined. He's got a girlfriend to save. He's got some booty that needs rejuvenating. He's good. It's the player that has to sit down and think about all the, you know, metatextual and moral stuff. Like, that's right. Where do these things come from? What is going on here? I have a completely different set of priorities, okay? Ah! Temple. Okay, this is taking way too long. I'm sorry. Listen. Listen, horse. I hear lizards. This is not the kind of game where you should be hunting small things. This game communicates that very well in a variety of ways. When you're dormant at the end, the way the Colossi desperately try to fight you off, and you are just this small, impossible thing. And it makes you feel bad. The big things, you beast. The big things get no love in this game. It's the small things that get to scurry around safely and out of danger. Boop! Now fall to the ground. No. See. This right here is how the world ends. I'm not gonna ask. 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 Because why ask? Why ask? You know, hunting down something small with precision for a game that has controls like these. Oh my gosh! This game is harebrained. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him again. And again. And again. And again. Excuse me. He kind of deserved it. All right. I am way too far out. Literally south of where I need to be. There is no hope. It's all downhill from here. I'll tell you, at this rate, we're gonna climb that tower. It's gonna work. Hey, there's a tower over there. There's a temple there. I think there's a temple there. All right, all right. Yes. Fun fact, a great deal of these grass shaders are hand-placed. Yes. A lot of the stuff just like running casually on top of the original code is very telling. Because the ground is the same, but there's no way they could have pulled off the original look if they just left it a flat green texture. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What is this? Shadow of the Towers? It's a game where he's going around slaying lizards? No. Okay. There's, you know, just... Look, 15 of them are dead! Okay? Look at the sky! They're dead! Alright, so... You know, I'm just doing some maintenance before we get the last one. You know, eating my Wheaties, so to speak. What, horse? What are you doing? What? Why? No. No. It's on the ground. It's on the... Excuse me. All right, that was easy. All right, so I'm thinking a little bit south of here. Wow, you know, that's absolutely crazy. That right there is where the last Colossus is. How about that? How about that? Yeah. I'll save that one for last then. Since I don't feel like getting anybody's hopes up by opening that door. It's a bad door. I will, however, clean up the coast here. I think I have most of these temples. Like, I'm only missing maybe 3? And they were around C and D4. Maybe C1. Can't be that bad. Apologies for all the shadow. She might be bailing on us today. I'm just gonna keep this going then. I'm sorry. I'm only slightly mad. It's alright though. I like this game a little bit too much to be mad about that. Worse things I could be doing with my stream time than playing Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah, no, I think I actually killed it just fine. Yeah, totally. Got him. another one just north of here at H6. H6 and F5 have one. Special move. Yeah. Oh, look, you can see it right there. Yo, the draw distance is just obscene. I can actually see where the next temple's located. That's impressive. I mean, the original game had a draw distance that was like... It was aggressive, man. It was like it had like 3 levels of LOD. There was like the detailed ground in front of you, low poly shit in the distance, and then in the like way back, like I'm talking horizon level, you'd have a 2D image. And the game would constantly be blending these 3 LODs for the visual presentation. So you constantly had this like 2D image just slowly melting into a low poly image, slowly melting into fully detailed. And that's just the way it worked. Just melting, like you could see the layers melt away, especially when it went HD. There was very little Bluepoint could do about that. But it was still there. It was like a giant 2D picture that would melt into something blurry, that would melt into something detailed. That's it now. I hear it crawling behind me, which means it's upstairs. Now we've just got draw distances. And very smartly placed LODs, I have to say. The LODs in this game are pretty nice. Like, I don't even notice them half the time. I think the only thing you can really notice as far as the visual streaming is grass. Grass seems to pop up on the horizon just as you're traveling through it. Actually, it sounds like it's on the ground. It is on the ground. Get him on the floor. Get him on the floor. Is he dead? Okay. Ah, glorious. All right, so I'm looking at between H5 and H6, that little mountainous area right there. Hello, horse. I'm actually gonna look for the relics, because that's very important to me. But I do want to get Wander's weight up. As far as my grip gauge and my health bar. I just want them to both be absurd. There are fruits in the trees, though. I'm pretty sure I could shoot a fruit out of a tree and eat it. I've never eaten a fruit in this version, or seen a fruit in this version, but I'm pretty sure there's fruits. There's fruits in all the damn trees. You shoot them out of the trees with the arrows, and then you eat the fruits. See, there's a fruit. Okay, that's not a fruit. None of these trees have fruits. What happened to all the fruits? These are fruitless trees. I mean, real talk, I'm surprised that the grass is even green out here, like, seriously. But still, what about the fruits? No? Okay. What's really funny to me is I've witnessed the game drop aggro. I've witnessed the game teleport and drop aggro into the environment. And it was absolutely hilarious. Like, the draw distance goes so far back that I could see where aggro was actually standing in relation to my character. So then when I whistled again as Wander, I actually witnessed the game teleport him directly behind my character, like in parallel. I watched it teleport him in and drop him behind me. It dropped him like maybe maybe like 10 feet onto the map, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it just looked like a horse in free fall. I wish I had been streaming. I would have been like, Blue Point, I got you. You thought you could hide those lods from me, but no. Oh no. I'm on to you guys. Yep. Okay, so I think after this one, I think I've got just 2 to go, honestly. It's in between the 2 Colossi at D3 and B4. It's in between D3 and B4. And then after that, I think I'm just, I think I'm solid on temples. Look at that. Look at that. Advanced maneuvers. Anybody seen any lizards? No? Nobody? I hate that, you know, finding these temples comes with the caveat. You gotta... I think... Wait. Am I seeing things? Did anybody else see that? No? I think it's on the ground. What is wrong with this game? Can I have the arrows that kill things, please? Telling me, draw distance. Jeez. That's just silly. I can shoot a lizard in the grass from the top of a building. Thank you, technology. Alright, so D3 and B4, right? So really what I'm looking for is C4. Yeah, 2 sides in C4. That's a quick jaunt back to the temple. No? Yeah. Do that. Shout outs to you know who. He keeps popping in and out of my channel. I appreciate you. You're my 150th follower. I feel like I should give you something for the trouble. Thanks, guys. We did it. We reached 150 followers. Oi, wait. I'm still at 149. I was tricked. He followed and unfollowed me. See how it is. See how it is. 2 can play that game, my fickle friend. It's rough out here. temple to me is so well hidden because it's just obfuscated. Like it blends into all of the environment. No, I think I forgot to get the lizard. I was so happy I found the temple, I totally forgot about the lizard. And I know it's here, I can hear it crawling. I know you're here, I can hear you breathing! Okay. Oh, it's on the ground. Hey, look, I don't mind when they're on the ground at all. I'd prefer on the ground to on the freaking tower. No, no, exactly, no, case in point, no, stop, no, why, no, no, get off the tower. Stop it. Oh my God. Why is this happening? I feel like I'm losing it. Thank you. Now, Jane, get me off this crazy thing. Well, that was unsuccessful. Alright, so I guess I better cross via the regular body of land. I tried to shortcut it and clearly failed. Yeah, yeet! And I reminisced on the 1st, 2nd, and 13th Colossi, I think. Man, I feel like going back and seeing Gaius. I just want to see what Gaius looks like, because technically there's no Earth. Oops. Technically, there's no Earth for Gaius to fall on and become a part of, like the, you know, like the other Colossi. That could prove to be really interesting. I'm just fascinated by that kind of thing. You wonder why I like talk about these things, you know. Again, these are very keenly meditative parts of the game, and you know, they don't really pull any punches. Again, these are the thoughts that I feel should, would, maybe, might cross over anyone's mind while roaming these fields. I mean, you have all the time in the world to think about this crap. I feel like I got lizards at every temple. Then I have that, like, seed of doubt. But did I get all the lizards at every temple? I think I just saw something crawling down the wall. I can hear it crawling! We're just now confirming my worst fear, that I'm gonna have to check all of the temples. Clearly. Yep. Spook me. Nope. Not today, Satan. Agra! All right. Anyhow, so, okay. Okay. What's up? Shut up. Alright, I think I see the next tower. It's way off in the distance, but I see it. Yeah, I see it. I can see my temple from here. Be a temple here and then like one like across the street. I'm talking like, you know, Metropolis and Gotham in the Snyderverse across the street. And then I should have all of them. That should be all 24 shrines, and I am not gonna pull open the map and count them. I'm not doing that. I tell you what, I ain't doing that shit. Look at that. That was easy. Cat-like reflexes just carrying me. Just carrying me through this entire game. One lizard at a time. Where are you, horse? His running animation is fantastic. I mean, look. Anybody want to see reverse kinematics in action? Look at his feet. Look at his feet. Look at his feet. Look at his knees. Look at his knees and his feet as we walk up this hill. See how the feet are always in the right position? See how aggro is shifting his body weight because he's standing on a hill? That, my good friends, that is inverse kinematics at its finest. This is why aggro's hairs are like kind of up her butt right now. And I think there should be another one in this specific direction, a little bit closer to the pond. And don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but I might be right. temple.
Abro.
I was about to get mad. No, I was about to get mad, and then I realized, wait. I was gonna get mad, and then I realized I haven't gone to the 16th Colossi yet, and that's where my last, that's where the last temple is. Oh, look at that. I did hit it. But there's two? I just saw one crawl up here. Yeah, there's another one. Try and tell me I'm seeing things. Holy ass, I shot the tail off. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I shot the tail off, and the rest of the lizard is just still crawling around the tower. I feel like in this instance I won. Like, why even kill the lizard at this point, right? Yeah, grow me more tails, slave. Alright, yeah, and I think the last one is at the very bottom. Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. 1C, there's a tower that I'm missing. Buttocks. Alright then, 1C it is. Closer to 1C anyway. Hey, aggro. Yeah, 1C. It's above this goober of a Colossus face. Who's here? Who is here to reminisce about? Is this the water room? Is this the room with the water in it? I feel like this is like SotC. I could be wrong. Oh no, this is the sand one. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's the sand one. Well, I don't normally do this kind of thing, but let's see what these remains look like. That was mean. Again, the face is always intact. Just trying to pathos the hell out of me, huh? I think this Colossi more than anything had a really goofy looking face. There's just two like bug eyes. This thing is like a sand caterpillar. It's like a sand caterpillar. Look at it. It's weird. I'm sorry, excuse me, no. Like a sand slug. Its body is really strange, and it's not that large. I mean, as far as Colossi go, it's pretty big. But it's not as long as, what's its face? It's not as long as Hydrus. And it's definitely not as long as, Phalanx. So, as far as the snake-like Colossi go, it's okay. It does have the goofiest looking face, though. Alright, buddy. Yeah, why not? I think this one's name is Dirge. I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, Dirge. Dun, 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 dun. This is a fun fight to watch, at least for me. And engaging. No! What are you doing? Wander, what are you doing? Messing with my speed. Really under the sand. Holy. Like, Dirge, what were you really after there? Like, why were you staring at me all bug-eyed anyway? Not a very good scene. Such a dork. That's why Dirge dies the way it does. They're usually in the same position they're in when they collapse, but it's still sad, man. It feels bad. It feels really bad. Funny thing is, I feel that Wander's body is so covered that you really don't get to feel the full effects of his, you know, drastic transformation. Horse, where the hell are you? Let's get out of here. That's peculiar, but not exactly the direction I want to go in. Huh. I didn't even know you could go straight through Dirge's cave like that. Nah, I had no idea it had two ends. It's pretty cool, but I had no idea it was like that. Yeah, see, this is the side I'm used to. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I had no idea it had... It's pretty cool. Oof, this is tough. I feel like my life energy is being sapped here. Man, you know, it's crazy. I didn't see myself... I didn't see the pre-show going for 2 hours, but, Sorry about that. Really thought there'd be gears at 9 p.m. How naive of me. How naive of me. Oh, I see. Well, it's time to break Wander's neck. Bye! Come down here, you dumb horse. I'm just gonna keep screaming aggro until the game randomly teleports him behind me like a goofball. Because there's no way his pathfinding is going to... There's no way his pathfinding is gonna put him down that long, winding road. Oh wow, unless it totally is going to. I was hoping it would hit me with the teleport again, but I guess not. No, he's really gonna pathfind his way all the way over to me. Yeah, pathfind that. Yeah, horse. He's a horse. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. The game's gonna get sick of it and just teleport him in out of nowhere. Wow, this is gorgeous. I broke aggro. But no, this is gorgeous. Look at the way the light pours over the hills. Ugh. I want to say that's dynamic and not baked because depending on the angle you're looking at from the mountains, you can actually see subtle light shafts. This game is so good looking. Oh, you know the deal. Another tower. Another prayer. Another lizard. This is foolishness. I hate video games. Oh my god, I hate them. I regret nothing. Really though, D5? How did I miss D5? I'm not going back there, that's BS. That's that bull manure. I'm not doing that. I'm not going back there. What I will do is, I will use the fast travel function to go back to the tower and then travel from there. Joke's on me, said the game. Haha, the last tower you prayed at is where your last checkpoint is. Well played. Well played, Ueda-san. Well played. No, 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 no. I got nothing. A wise man once said nothing at all. Horse. Okay, he's right behind me. I see him. Hey. Is there a point to doing that? No. There is absolutely no point to doing that. Or this. This actually helped from jumping on a Colossi. I won't deny that. But for the most part, do you have to do this? No. Is it necessary? No, not really. Oof. Oh man. Sorry, aggro. It's just brutal out here, man. I almost feel like visiting Argus just to reminisce a little bit. What's that down there? That's interesting. No, really, what is that? like everything else out here. It's just kind of barren. All right. It's alright. I have a good feeling about this one. D5? D5. You'll see. We'll find D5 and everything will be fine. Wait. Am I in D5? No, I'm in E5. I know what you're thinking. Let's take the low-hanging fruit and say Expert Penguin wants the D. But I'd advise against that. Simply because I just stole it. That's how you do it. You gotta be like Rebel Wilson. You gotta get out ahead of the joke, okay? That way they can't tell it. I think that's it, boys. I think that's the tower. We've got the elephant. He's got the elephant. Oddly, and oh, speak of the devil. I was gonna say, oh, I don't hear any lizards. Yeah, it's about this way. Can anyone see what's up here? Alright, at the very least, can I get some Fs in the chat for my Twitch career? It's over. I was watching his stream and, you know, he was just hunting lizards. Don't understand what he's trying to do here. What are you selling? It's a lizard hunting channel? That was so unbelievably dope. I'm not even mad. Yes! Get him. Get him. Get him. Lord. Alright. I think now I have everything. No, I still still don't want to count them. I don't want to count them. I don't care. I care, but I don't care that much. Yes, I do. Oh, who am I kidding? Do I really have to count them? Fine, I'm going to count. Fine, I'm going to count them. I'm going to count them. All right, let's start from the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. All right. All right. 23. All right. Why not? No, I'm not Spanish. No, I am not of Hispanic descent. Sorry. I just like counting in Spanish. It's a thing I do. Veinte. 21, 22, 23, 29. I see a tree. Listen, I know a tree when I see it, okay? I live in Brooklyn. But the real question is, does this tree have the goods? You one of them fruit-bearing trees? Got them fruits. Yes! Fruit! Where'd it go? What the hell? Oh, there it is. My first fruit. Might help my complexion, you know. After a face full of dormant, I bet if you eat your veggies, you might, you know, your complexion might clear up. Hey, fruit trophy. I got another one. Frutas. Fantastic. All right. I can go right there on the stats page. Fruits eaten. Dos X. All right, come on, you horse. We have a Colossus to slay. It's about that time. It's about time to get into that new game plus mode. Now that we have temple out, we have templed out. The templing is done. You win. Good day, sir. Where is my horse? Listen, man, I run a tight ship here, okay? I'm gonna need you to get your keister over here on like the 3rd call. Maybe not the 10th. That's the level we're on. Little sand tornadoes. Little sand tornadoes in the desert. Is that what's going on here? Oh, Phalanx. Where's Phalanx? Phalanx is out here. Got a pair. We gotta go to Phalanx and just press F, man. It's just the way it goes. Yeah, I'm gonna pay my respects. Phalanx is a tragedy that should have never happened. Where's Phalanx? Oh, there it is. All right. Let's deploy it. There we go. All right, we've paid respects to Phalanx. Officially. I can now go to the end of the game with a clear conscience. starting to see it. I can see it, the gap between the mountain. Looks like a giant doorway. Yeah, that's a huge cloudy portion of the map right over here. Like everything starting with H3. Basically everything from H to J is cloudy for no apparent reason. I feel like that warrants exploration. Same thing with A and B. A and B are very barren for some reason. And I think they really made every inch of this map to be explorable, visitable, all of the ables. So, might be worth it to venture over there. Maybe on a fresh playthrough when Wander's not looking quite like such a zombie. I mean, even though I love these piercing light shafts all over, you know, I can't get enough of them, but it's kind of grotesque. I mean, I'm not being a stickler about this kind of thing, but this temple isn't even well lit. Doesn't stop there from being a lizard up here, though. Clearly. Clearly, this did not stop the lizards. The lizard population. It's a very bleak, dark part of the map, isn't it? Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha again. And again. And again. And again. Charlie Murphy. Doc. Excuse me. Alright. Tail acquired. Woo! Did it! Alright, that's the last time I'll break kayfabe. Sorry about that. Okay. Totally broke kayfabe on that one. Oops, there goes your immersion. Like, if my voice wasn't breaking it enough. There goes the rest of your immersion, unfortunately. Sorry. Just gonna get a manual save in there. Just for good measure. case I feel like exploring without being bothered. Like, with all of the Colossi gone. Just in case. You know what I would love is an endgame map to run around on, where all of the Colossi are dead. But that's not possible because of the nature of the story. Once Wandered gets all of the Colossi, it's acquaintance for him. He's not even in control of his own body anymore at that point. Which kind of sucks. Horse, what are you doing? What are we gonna do with you? I swear, for the past 2 hours, it's been hunting things. You've been going where you wanna go, galloping where you wanna gallop. We're gonna have to really talk about this relationship. You know? Feels kind of one-sided. Come on, buddy. Come on, do it. Do the thing. Do the thing, you crazy horse. Woo! No! And then as if to, you know, really drive home the point that you're dead. It starts raining. Why does it always start raining after someone dies? As I run to extinguish the last bit of life from this dead land, fate took my only living friend away from me. Feels bad. My only companion left. My only living companion. Feels bad, man. How about that, man? Who's building these bridges? I mean, jeez. What mook? This is gonna be really hard without aggro. Kinda sad about that. Man. You really bailed on me today, lady. You really bailed on me. It's hard out here for a thing. Better late than never, but never late is better. A wise bird said that once. So it begins. What did Dan Olson say? You know, entering Malice. Yeah, entering Malice's boss fight feels like entering Armageddon. It's just this battle-scarred land with, you know, with these deep trenches and barricades and shields. Almost as if the people who created him only had so much time to just bolt him to the ground before they could escape. Like they were just so besieged by the thing they created that they barely had enough time to bolt him to the ground before they could escape and just leave him trapped at the edge of the world. I thought that was very poignant. That was a pinprick, watertight, perfect analysis of Malice's, of the visual story that Malice tells. It's a very interesting take. I mean, that's almost what it feels like to me. I can agree with that. I mean, why else is it like that? This thing, like, it seems like as soon as they infused it with the essence of Dorman, it flipped the hell out. Like, they really wanted the very last Colossus to be untouchable, unreachable, un-anythingable. They made it as tall as they could. They made it as aggressive and as deadly as they could. They had to construct a battlefield around it just to get away from it. And still, despite this, Wander persists. Look at this. This thing is, its entire purpose is to obliterate people. And when you get hit by these things, they destroy you. So you gotta say, like, clearly somebody did not want these things alive. This is like the last failsafe. It is the most aggressive, it is the largest of the Colossi. It has the biggest axe to grind. I mean, shit, I don't want to say it, but what if Malice were allowed to walk? How difficult would Malice be if he were mobile? He'd be impossible. He'd be impossible to contain. Look at him. He's a skyscraper. Oddly enough, I've experimented with Malice quite a bit. Too bad. I think it's as long as he doesn't see you, he's not really doing anything in particular. What's interesting about Malice is the way he acts once you start climbing him, which is weird to me. Because he's entirely outwardly aggressive. As soon as you get in close proximity to him, he can't see any viable threat. He just stands still and chills out. As soon as I feel like he realizes you're climbing on him, yeah, see, look at him. He starts freaking out. Like, look at his arms. As soon as Malice realizes he's been boarded, which is apparently from the feet up, he can just feel me climbing on him, okay? He starts flailing a little bit. You know, he can't use I guess he can't use his powers so close to his body. So he's kind of helpless. kind of helpless now. This is something that Wander feels later on, when you know what happens and who's the size of the human. But yeah, when you know what happens, you kind of get that feeling in reverse. Yeah, because when you're you-know-who, it's really hard to you-know-what the you-know-what's. It's like, oh, so that's how it feels. But yeah, see? Malice's arms were down at his side a minute ago. Like when I was underneath him. And he had one arm down and the other arm firing these projectiles when he was on the ground proper. But now look at him. Arms outstretched. Kind of like, oh no, what's going on? Like, you ever see it's like a person who's got a mouse running up their shirt. He's a little bit flabbergasted, like he doesn't know how to react to this. And see, look at the hands. Look at the body language. His eyes are agitated. He's got the agitated orange eye coloring. So he's obviously irritated and knows something's up. But he can't do anything about it. So he's just kind of like... It's weird body language that only this Colossus possesses. It can't move. So it's got this really unique body language that is kind of helpless. He's like, what's going on back there? Are you touching my butt? Don't go in my back pocket. It's where I keep my tots. You know, it's alright. I'm sorry, Malice. But it's about that time. Alright, I thought it was about that time. Sorry. Clearly it was not about that time. No. I mean, that time is still coming, but just, give me a few more seconds to assert that. Wow, look at the power of self-shadowing. How about that? Wow, you're really creeping that hand, aren't you? Yep, there it goes. Okay, see, now I just feel even worse. Holy f... I almost blew that, didn't I? But yeah, do you see his face? His face looks like the embodiment of panic, to be honest. He's yet another Colossus that doesn't look terribly menacing up close. He looks scarier far away. Up close, his face looks almost worried and a bit contemplative. I'd say contemplative. It looks like he's... See what I mean? It's like I'm an insect. It's kind of studying me a little bit. I'm an oddity. Even though he is agitated, it's all he can do. Fuck! The balls! Yo, your knuckle is the worst, bro. I think someone at Blue Point said if they could do anything, they'd add more range to this type of scene. I agree. They should have baked the screen in particle effects. Lord, good God, there's nothing to grab onto back here. Sorry, Malice. And now, Malice is really freaking out. It's so funny that without a single facial expression, without a single way to, like, move their faces, they can still convey, like, Alice genuinely looks like he's freaking out. And I don't think it's because his expression is just default bewildered. No, I think it's the body language. I think it's everything. He's so big, but there's nothing he can do, so it really looks like there's a desperate struggle to get away from some place he knows he can't get away from. Stop moving your head. Stop. 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 It's over. Whew. Well, boys. We got him. Oh no, I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die.
We got him.
I love memes. All right, I'm gonna take a quick second while this ending asserts itself. Oh no! How the fuck? Ah!
Screwed adverb. Parehon formulas ilicum at all. aula prulongka. Piakiumku aik isim. Iram de cake lutu. No sus if kafu. Was I not sick? It was you want to lie, Luludo? Look at the law in your you must almost read. Okay. What is I don't concord? Or is your kudu?
It's always the funny irony of this game's ending is that, well, one of the funny ironies of the ending is that, you know, the Colossi are the vessel. Every time Wander killed one, the essence of Dorman flew into him. And when all 16 were inside of him, he was the vessel. So what does Lord Eamon do? He says, oh, okay, well, let's kill him. Unironically stabbing him through the pattern on his cloak, which looks suspiciously like the same sigil on the Colossi. They stab him in his sigil, kill him, and then Dorman comes out of his body. And it's like, are we really surprised here? Are we really? Is that a thing that we are right now? We're surprised. That's so funny. Look at that. Look at the way that works. It's not easy on Colossus, is it? little things. There's a sad irony to all of this. I mean, I think it's even more insulting that they're kind of just walking out casually. Like, I'm not even that worthwhile. You think of all the things they could have done other than... I mean, yeah, when you think of all the things that they could have done other than seal Dorman, they could have just let Dorman run free in the Forbidden Lands, I guess. Could have just resealed the Forbidden Lands, but then I think Dorman would have just gotten out or started creating life or started doing weird, mischievous things. I'm under the impression that Dorman was sealed away because Dorman is a... well... maybe not the most benevolent creator. It seems like all of the gifts that Dorman bestows upon its people comes with a heavy price. And if sacrifice is inherent to worship of Dorman, I can see why someone like Lord Iman would keep people just propagate the species. This is nothing to believe. And then when all is said and done, the essence of Dorman himself gets peeled away. And all that's really left is you wandering, desperately trying to reach Momo, and you can't. After everything you did, used by the deity, to reassemble its body. That's really unfortunate. And that's the tragic, tragic story of wandering. Much like the slaying of the Colossi themselves, this ending is simultaneously really sad, but really hopeful. I mean, By all accounts, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong here. But in the end, Momo was brought back to life. She was brought back. Dorman kept its end of the bargain. And even so, and despite all that, even though Wander did not live to see her, what was left behind in his wake bore promise? Is that a weird way to frame it? But I mean, ugh. That's the funny thing about playing Eco. You learn that these horned children are considered cursed. And they're brought up to a tower so that this witch can sacrifice them and steal their life essence, so to speak. You know, life essence and all that. So the cycle continues, really. These poor horned children are sent off to die. Their sacrifice for access to what seems like the same power that Dorman possesses. I think with so much of the mythology, in Ico, it centers so much around light and dark, yin and yang, the duality of Dorman, the downward progression of Wander's physical state while Momo's is elevated. The shadows that appear around Wander while the doves appear around Momo. Everything is so tied into light and dark, light and dark, dark and light. But I think a creature that embodies both kind of upsets the balance. You have one or the other, right? But to have one that's just representative of both. I mean, as we've seen, Dorman's a god that requires sacrifice. If sacrifice is a necessary evil for you to keep your goodness, I mean, eventually something's got to give, right? I think it's more interesting that it's neither confirmed nor denied, nor even implied, that her cursed fate was to raise these, you know, sired, weird, horned children. That could have been the fate they were trying to prevent when they killed her. And now, she's back to life, and I don't know, but being alive in a mostly dead land with nothing but a horse and a horned child sounds like it sounds pretty cursed to me. I mean, I'm no expert. In a really bittersweet way, Wander did win. In a really bittersweet way, you did complete his quest. It just comes with so much emotional and moral baggage that you're really not sure how to feel by the end. Did you do good? What's up? Momo's alive, so you did it, right?
Zo, jullie zo. Je kies zo edico erike kualo to kair. Anli kom ayudikanga yuke.
Hasn't he atoned enough? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Hasn't he atoned enough, though? Look at him. He paid the price with his body and soul. Yeah, see, look at that. It's a little horned baby. Great, now you get the benefit of the Benjamin Button character dynamic. Like, you know that's your boyfriend, right? So he's gonna get older, see, and then you're gonna get older. And that's just gonna be weird. It's just kind of weird. This is not what she signed up for. See, this is what I'm talking about. What is this idyllic Disney Channel princess crap? There's a deer up there? There's life! There's birds and doves and squirrel and deer and horse. This is where life in the Forbidden Lands begins. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Wander may have brought more death to the Forbidden Lands, but in resurrecting Dorman and Dorman keeping its part of the bargain, he also inspired life. This is centuries before we know that horned children are considered cursed, so... Again, the duality of Dorman. Wander pays the price with his life to propagate life. How about that? How about that? Well, isn't that resonant and impressive? What a delectable end to a wonderful game. What? What is that? Oh, wow. Did I do that? Okay. I'll take it. I beat it without dying. Woo! Look at me being a badass. I'm bad. That's probably gonna be tricky. Nice. 6:17:57 is my new best. Ooh, look at that. New artwork. Very nice. Oh, wow. I have a bunch of new artwork in the characters page. How about environments? Alright. Some new ones there. How about comparison shots? Indeed. I love how they layered textures to simulate things like grass and fur. That's an ingenious solution to a very unique problem. Look at that. Gotta defeat Colossus 9 in Reminiscence mode. Alright, let's see. What do I have to do? Defeat on hard. Defeat on hard. Hard. 3 in Reminiscence mode. Ooh. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, that's doable. Nine in Reminiscence mode. Look at that dumb face. This is what I'm talking about. The worm has such a stupid face. Look at that. Looks like a Sesame Street character. Look at his face. Look at his big dumb face. He looks like he's smiling. No. You look like you're smiling. Nah, Bassaran just gets no love from me. Dirge has a stupid looking face, but Bassaran gets no love from me. Same thing for Celosia. You just look scary. Your mouth looks like a pizza oven and you shoot fireballs out of it. I'm not down. Oh, look at that. He's just kind of cute, to be frank. 14 in Reminiscence mode if he wants to go through that. Clearly I do. See, Malice just wants that booty. If you look at the bottom of this picture, that's where Wander is. Hold on. That's Wander down there, isn't it? That little silhouette. That's Wander, right? So yeah, that's how big you are compared to Malice. See, he's not a bad-looking guy when he starts out on his journey. Lord Elon, Dorman's arch nemesis, clearly. Aggro! That's a good girl. And yes, Aggro is a she. In fact, is a she. Am I missing something here? Are those for me? Oh, I've run out of pictures. How about that? Okay, so Colossus 16. I gotta beat him on hard to get the last two. Throw 300 harpoons. Oh, they didn't put question marks around it this time. It's actually showing me what they are. Throw harpoons, visit the secret garden. Throw 300 harpoons. I have to get one harpoon first. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful. Environment art. It's a screenshot of the game. These are screenshots of the game. I mean, sure, when your game does look this good, but still, you're cheating. That's a good shot. Oh, that's just bleak. I took a picture very similar to this. That's gorgeous. I wish the Forbidden Lands had shifting time of day. That would be interesting, but it just seems to be always daytime in the Forbidden Lands. Either that or the game literally just takes place over, you know, in a matter of hours. Alright. Well, I think that's all I got in me for today. I think that's a pretty solid run of Shadow of the Colossus yet again. Don't think we'll be switching to Judgment tonight. Don't think that'll be a thing for us today. So, with that having been chucked out there, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the 10 or so people that followed on Mixer because you're awesome. Thank you for the one person that dined and dashed on Twitch. I know where you live, I live where you live, and I will find you eventually. We'll find your channel, jump into your chat, and spam F. Because once I get a hold of you, they're going to need to pay respect! Thank you to the lurkers, thank you to the hosters, thank you to everyone around. I hope you enjoyed. I might be back later, who knows? It's one of those things. For now, you know, enjoy this eagle. The eagle will play you out. Alright. See ya.